Having done that application, it's really important to ensure that your customer is fully educated. And one of the most important things is that that client must continue to sleep in their bedroom to ensure that we have bed bug activity. One of the things that we know about bed bugs is that they will go dormant if there are no people in the vicinity creating the carbon dioxide through their breath. It's the carbon dioxide that stimulates the bed bugs to move. So if you have an empty room or an empty apartment, you can put as many barriers down as you like, but if the bed bugs don't move, which they will not if there's no human activity, then that treatment is not going to be effective until people arrive and start breathing out carbon dioxide. So it's not okay for clients to go away on vacation for 2 weeks after your treatment and hope that when they come back, the bed bugs will be gone, because they won't. They will have waited until their return, and then they will be coming out very hungry and ready to eat your clients. So let's avoid any misunderstandings like that. Make sure that your client understands that they have to continue with normal behavior. And if you've done a good job with the vacuuming, the number of bed bugs that they're dealing with will have been significantly reduced right from the moment that you leave their property. So under normal circumstances, it's not really a major issue for them to maintain that normal activity. If you've got clients that absolutely refuse, you can use dry ice, or you can encourage your client to use dry ice. Place a bucket of that in the bedroom instead of themselves, if you like, each evening, to get those bed bugs moving. And after a week or so of regular placement of dry ice, which can get expensive, then they were probably safe to go back in. But this is not something to be encouraged. It's only really for those really sensitive clients that can't bear the idea of sleeping in their room after the treatment. Now, eradication does take time, as we discussed. So we recommend that you only do a follow-up visit 30 days after the treatment. I mean, by all means, if you want to spend your time and go and see how things are going, that's fine. And you will see significant bed bug death and bodies within 4 to 5 days of the treatment. But if you're looking to save time and money, a 30-day follow-up is what we recommend, because in 90% of cases, after 30 days, you can find no live activity in the environment. And if that's the case, you don't need to reapply Aprehend, because it continues to work for another 2 months for you. However, we do recommend that if you do find live activity, that a second application is a good idea at that 30-day mark. That only happens in about 10% of cases, but what it does is it boosts those barriers and then gives you another 90 days worth of protection. And that should really do the job for all but the very worst infestation. So the other thing that the clients need to know is that when bed bugs are infected with the fungal disease, they can actually wander. Maybe it's a little bit like the zombie ant story, but let's not use zombie bed bugs to terrify our clients. But those bed bugs, when they get infected with the fungal disease, they become disorientated and they tend to wander around at odd times of the day and in plain view. It can be quite alarming if people aren't aware of this, because it can look like they've got more bed bugs than when they started off with. Of course they don't, but they're just seeing them more readily because they're coming out at odd times of the day and walking in odd places. As long as you educate your client that this could happen, they can get excited because they know that those wandering bed bugs are going to die within 24 hours, and they're really demonstrating that the treatment is working. Remember that there's a 4-hour re-entry period after treatment, and this is to allow those spray droplets to settle fully, that they're not going to breathe in the spray droplets. But after 4 hours, nobody's going to be exposed to those spray droplets, and there's no further issue. Remember that this product must not be exposed to water, neither when you're using it nor after you have left. So remind your clients not to use cleaning products in the areas where you've sprayed, and certainly not to follow up with a can of Raid after you've left, because there is water in all of these chemical insecticides and they will damage the spores. We discussed what happened when they're exposed to water. They'll shrivel and die, after germinating, and then they'll be no good. So the barriers will not work for 3 months if they've been exposed to water. So for this reason, you should never apply chemical products over the top of Aprehend. However, if chemical products have been applied to a surface previously and they've dried, even if it was just a day ago, Aprehend can be applied on top of those chemical residues and it will not be affected. It's the water that's the problem, not the chemicals themselves. So any standard chemical pesticide that you might use in somebody's home, as long as it's a dry residue, it will not impact your Aprehend application in any way.